Bienvenidos a tu curso de inglés. En este video, aprenderás unas cuantas estructuras oracionales útiles, que te van a permitir crear un montón de frases en inglés por ti mismo. La idea es que no solo repitas, sino que también inventes tus propias oraciones para practicar mejor, y ganar más confianza al hablar. Vamos juntos paso a paso. Empecemos ya.
I feel like eating this.
I feel like eating this.
Tengo ganas de comer esto.
I feel like eating this. I feel like resting.
I feel like resting.
Tengo ganas de descansar.
I feel like resting. I don't feel like cooking.
I don't feel like cooking.
No tengo ganas de cocinar.
I don't feel like cooking. I feel like going out.
I feel like going out.
Tengo ganas de salir.
I feel like going out. I feel like staying here.
I feel like staying here.
Tengo ganas de quedarme aquí.
I feel like staying here. I don't feel like talking.
I don't feel like talking.
No tengo ganas de hablar.
I don't feel like talking. It feels like rain.
It feels like rain.
Parece que va a llover.
It feels like rain. Does that feel right?
Does that feel right?
¿Se siente bien eso?
Does that feel right? That feels right.
That feels right.
Se siente bien.
That feels right. It doesn't feel right.
It doesn't feel right.
Eso no se siente bien.
It doesn't feel right. Does it feel wrong?
Does it feel wrong?
¿Se siente mal?
Does it feel wrong? That feels wrong.
That feels wrong.
Eso se siente mal.
That feels wrong. It doesn't feel wrong.
It doesn't feel wrong.
No se siente mal.
It doesn't feel wrong. Does it feel easy?
Does it feel easy?
¿Se siente fácil?
Does it feel easy? That feels easy.
That feels easy.
Eso se siente fácil.
That feels easy. It doesn't feel easy.
It doesn't feel easy.
No se siente fácil.
It doesn't feel easy. Does it feel hard?
Does it feel hard?
¿Se siente difícil?
Does it feel hard? This feels hard.
This feels hard.
Esto se siente difícil.
This feels hard. It doesn't feel hard.
It doesn't feel hard.
No se siente difícil.
It doesn't feel hard. Does it feel real?
Does it feel real?
¿Se siente real?
Does it feel real? That feels real.
That feels real.
Eso se siente real.
That feels real. It doesn't feel real.
It doesn't feel real.
No se siente real.
It doesn't feel real. Does it feel strange?
Does it feel strange?
¿Se siente extraño?
Does it feel strange? This feels strange.
This feels strange.
Esto se siente extraño.
This feels strange. It doesn't feel strange.
It doesn't feel strange.
No se siente extraño.
It doesn't feel strange. It feels like a dream.
It feels like a dream.
Se siente como un sueño.
It feels like a dream. I feel like trying again.
I feel like trying again.
Tengo ganas de intentar de nuevo.
I feel like trying again. I don't feel like working.
I don't feel like working.
No tengo ganas de trabajar.
I don't feel like working. It feels like forever.
It feels like forever.
Se siente eterno.
It feels like forever. I feel like calling her.
I feel like calling her.
Tengo ganas de llamarla.
I feel like calling her. I don't feel like answering.
I don't feel like answering.
No tengo ganas de responder.
I don't feel like answering. It feels like a mistake.
It feels like a mistake.
Se siente como un error.
It feels like a mistake. I feel like staying home.
I feel like staying home.
Tengo ganas de quedarme en casa.
I feel like staying home. I don't feel like moving.
I don't feel like moving.
No tengo ganas de moverme.
I don't feel like moving. Does it feel enough?
Does it feel enough?
¿Se siente suficiente?
Does it feel enough? It feels enough.
It feels enough.
Se siente suficiente.
It feels enough. It doesn't feel enough.
It doesn't feel enough.
No se siente suficiente.
It doesn't feel enough. Does it feel natural?
Does it feel natural?
¿Se siente natural?
Does it feel natural? That feels natural.
That feels natural.
Se siente natural.
That feels natural. It doesn't feel natural.
It doesn't feel natural.
No se siente natural.
It doesn't feel natural. Does it feel forced?
Does it feel forced?
¿Se siente forzado?
Does it feel forced? It feels forced.
It feels forced.
Se siente forzado.
It feels forced. It doesn't feel forced.
It doesn't feel forced.
No se siente forzado.
It doesn't feel forced. It feels like magic.
It feels like magic.
Se siente como magia.
It feels like magic. I feel like helping you.
I feel like helping you.
Tengo ganas de ayudarte.
I feel like helping you. I don't feel like driving.
I don't feel like driving.
No tengo ganas de manejar.
I don't feel like driving. It feels like summer.
It feels like summer.
Se siente como verano.
It feels like summer. I feel like learning more.
I feel like learning more.
Tengo ganas de aprender más.
I feel like learning more. I don't feel like eating.
I don't feel like eating.
No tengo ganas de comer.
I don't feel like eating. It feels like a trap.
It feels like a trap.
Se siente como una trampa.
It feels like a trap. Does it feel safe?
Does it feel safe?
¿Se siente seguro?
Does it feel safe? That feels safe.
That feels safe.
Se siente seguro.
That feels safe. It doesn't feel safe.
It doesn't feel safe.
No se siente seguro.
It doesn't feel safe. Does it feel risky?
Does it feel risky?
¿Se siente arriesgado?
Does it feel risky? This feels risky.
This feels risky.
Se siente arriesgado.
This feels risky. It doesn't feel risky.
It doesn't feel risky.
No se siente arriesgado.
It doesn't feel risky. Does that feel good?
Does that feel good?
¿Se siente bien eso?
Does that feel good? That feels good.
That feels good.
Eso se siente bien.
That feels good. It doesn't feel good.
It doesn't feel good.
No se siente bien.
It doesn't feel good. Does it feel bad?
Does it feel bad?
¿Se siente mal?
Does it feel bad? That feels bad.
That feels bad.
Eso se siente mal.
That feels bad. It doesn't feel bad.
It doesn't feel bad.
No se siente mal.
It doesn't feel bad. Does it feel normal?
Does it feel normal?
¿Se siente normal?
Does it feel normal? This feels normal.
This feels normal.
Esto se siente normal.
This feels normal. It doesn't feel normal.
It doesn't feel normal.
No se siente normal.
It doesn't feel normal. Does it feel different?
Does it feel different?
¿Se siente diferente?
Does it feel different? It feels different.
It feels different.
Se siente diferente.
It feels different. It doesn't feel different.
It doesn't feel different.
No se siente diferente.
It doesn't feel different. Does that feel okay?
Does that feel okay?
¿Se siente bien eso?
Does that feel okay? This feels okay.
This feels okay.
Se siente bien.
This feels okay. It doesn't feel okay.
It doesn't feel okay.
Esto se siente bien.
It doesn't feel okay. Does it feel serious?
Does it feel serious?
¿Se siente serio?
Does it feel serious? It feels serious.
It feels serious.
Se siente serio.
It feels serious. It doesn't feel serious.
It doesn't feel serious.
No se siente serio.
It doesn't feel serious. Does this feel clear?
Does this feel clear?
¿Se siente claro?
Does this feel clear? It feels clear.
It feels clear.
Se siente claro.
It feels clear. It doesn't feel clear.
It doesn't feel clear.
No se siente claro.
It doesn't feel clear. I feel like waking up early.
I feel like waking up early.
Tengo ganas de levantarme temprano.
I feel like waking up early. I don't feel like waiting.
I don't feel like waiting.
No tengo ganas de esperar.
I don't feel like waiting. It feels like the end.
It feels like the end.
Se siente como el final.
It feels like the end. I feel like making a change.
I feel like making a change.
Tengo ganas de hacer un cambio.
I feel like making a change. I don't feel like studying.
I don't feel like studying.
No tengo ganas de estudiar.
I don't feel like studying. It feels like a good day.
It feels like a good day.
Se siente como un buen día.
It feels like a good day. Does it feel calm?
Does it feel calm?
¿Se siente tranquilo?
Does it feel calm? It feels calm.
It feels calm.
Se siente tranquilo.
It feels calm. It doesn't feel calm.
It doesn't feel calm.
No se siente tranquilo.
It doesn't feel calm. Does it feel tense?
Does it feel tense?
¿Se siente tenso?
Does it feel tense? That feels tense.
That feels tense.
Eso se siente tenso.
That feels tense. It doesn't feel tense.
It doesn't feel tense.
No se siente tenso.
It doesn't feel tense. Does it feel fair?
Does it feel fair?
¿Se siente justo?
Does it feel fair? It feels fair.
It feels fair.
Se siente justo.
It feels fair. It doesn't feel fair.
It doesn't feel fair.
No se siente justo.
It doesn't feel fair. Does it seem unfair?
Does it seem unfair?
¿Parece injusto?
Does it seem unfair? That seems unfair.
That seems unfair.
Parece injusto.
That seems unfair. It doesn't feel unfair.
It doesn't feel unfair.
No se siente injusto.
It doesn't feel unfair. Does it feel right now?
Does it feel right now?
¿Se siente bien ahora?
Does it feel right now? That feels right now.
That feels right now.
Eso se siente bien ahora.
That feels right now. It doesn't feel right now.
It doesn't feel right now.
No se siente bien ahora.
It doesn't feel right now. Does it feel too much?
Does it feel too much?
¿Se siente demasiado?
Does it feel too much? It feels too much.
It feels too much.
Se siente demasiado.
It feels too much. It doesn't feel too much.
It doesn't feel too much.
No se siente demasiado.
It doesn't feel too much. I feel like telling the truth.
I feel like telling the truth.
Tengo ganas de decir la verdad.
I feel like telling the truth. I don't feel like arguing.
I don't feel like arguing.
No tengo ganas de discutir.
I don't feel like arguing. It feels like nothing changed.
It feels like nothing changed.
Se siente como si nada cambiara.
It feels like nothing changed. I feel like running away.
I feel like running away.
Tengo ganas de salir corriendo.
I feel like running away. I don't feel like listening.
I don't feel like listening.
No tengo ganas de escuchar.
I don't feel like listening. It feels like a lie.
It feels like a lie.
Se siente como una mentira.
It feels like a lie. Does it feel confusing?
Does it feel confusing?
¿Se siente confuso?
Does it feel confusing? That feels confusing.
That feels confusing.
Se siente confuso.
That feels confusing. It doesn't feel confusing.
It doesn't feel confusing.
No se siente confuso.
It doesn't feel confusing. Does it feel fast?
Does it feel fast?
¿Se siente rápido?
Does it feel fast? It feels fast.
It feels fast.
Se siente rápido.
It feels fast. It doesn't feel fast.
It doesn't feel fast.
No se siente rápido.
It doesn't feel fast. Does it feel slow?
Does it feel slow?
¿Se siente lento?
Does it feel slow? This feels slow.
This feels slow.
Se siente lento.
This feels slow. It doesn't feel slow.
It doesn't feel slow.
No se siente lento.
It doesn't feel slow. Does it feel new?
Does it feel new?
¿Se siente nuevo?
Does it feel new? That feels new.
That feels new.
Eso se siente nuevo.
That feels new. It doesn't feel new.
It doesn't feel new.
No se siente nuevo.
It doesn't feel new. Does it feel old?
Does it feel old?
¿Se siente viejo?
Does it feel old? This feels old.
This feels old.
Esto se siente viejo.
This feels old. It doesn't feel old.
It doesn't feel old.
No se siente viejo.
It doesn't feel old. Does it feel better?
Does it feel better?
¿Se siente mejor?
Does it feel better? It feels better.
It feels better.
Se siente mejor.
It feels better. It doesn't feel better.
It doesn't feel better.
No se siente mejor.
It doesn't feel better. Does it feel worse?
Does it feel worse?
¿Se siente peor?
Does it feel worse? It feels worse.
It feels worse.
Se siente peor.
It feels worse. It doesn't feel worse.
It doesn't feel worse.
No se siente peor.
It doesn't feel worse. Does it feel close?
Does it feel close?
¿Se siente cerca?
Does it feel close? It feels close.
It feels close.
Se siente cerca.
It feels close. It doesn't feel close.
It doesn't feel close.
No se siente cerca.
It doesn't feel close. I feel like giving up.
I feel like giving up.
Tengo ganas de rendirme.
I feel like giving up. I don't feel like going there.
I don't feel like going there.
No tengo ganas de ir allá.
I don't feel like going there. It feels like a joke.
It feels like a joke.
Se siente como una broma.
It feels like a joke. I feel like starting over.
I feel like starting over.
Tengo ganas de empezar de nuevo.
I feel like starting over. I don't feel like trying.
I don't feel like trying.
No tengo ganas de intentarlo.
I don't feel like trying. It feels like a test.
It feels like a test.
Se siente como una prueba.
It feels like a test. I feel like saying no.
I feel like saying no.
Tengo ganas de decir que no.
I feel like saying no. Does it feel far?
Does it feel far?
¿Se siente lejos?
Does it feel far? It feels far.
It feels far.
Se siente lejos.
It feels far. It doesn't feel far.
It doesn't feel far.
No se siente lejos.
It doesn't feel far. Does it feel warm?
Does it feel warm?
¿Se siente cálido?
Does it feel warm? It feels warm.
It feels warm.
Se siente cálido.
It feels warm. It doesn't feel warm.
It doesn't feel warm.
No se siente cálido.
It doesn't feel warm. Does it feel cold?
Does it feel cold?
¿Se siente frío?
Does it feel cold? It feels cold.
It feels cold.
Se siente frío.
It feels cold. It doesn't feel cold.
It doesn't feel cold.
No se siente frío.
It doesn't feel cold. Does it feel soft?
Does it feel soft?
¿Se siente suave?
Does it feel soft? It feels soft.
It feels soft.
Se siente suave.
It feels soft. It doesn't feel soft.
It doesn't feel soft.
No se siente suave.
It doesn't feel soft. Does it feel rough?
Does it feel rough?
¿Se siente áspero?
Does it feel rough? It feels rough.
It feels rough.
Se siente áspero.
It feels rough. It doesn't feel rough.
It doesn't feel rough.
No se siente áspero.
It doesn't feel rough. Does it feel light?
Does it feel light?
¿Se siente ligero?
Does it feel light? It feels light.
It feels light.
Se siente ligero.
It feels light. It doesn't feel light.
It doesn't feel light.
No se siente ligero.
It doesn't feel light. Does it feel heavy?
Does it feel heavy?
¿Se siente pesado?
Does it feel heavy? That doesn't feel heavy.
That doesn't feel heavy.
No se siente pesado.
That doesn't feel heavy. It feels heavy.
It feels heavy.
Se siente pesado.
It feels heavy. I don't feel like smiling.
I don't feel like smiling.
No tengo ganas de sonreír.
I don't feel like smiling. It feels like home.
It feels like home.
Se siente como en casa.
It feels like home. I feel like doing something.
I feel like doing something.
Tengo ganas de hacer algo.
I feel like doing something. I don't feel like staying.
I don't feel like staying.
No tengo ganas de quedarme.
I don't feel like staying. It feels like a warning.
It feels like a warning.
Se siente como una advertencia.
It feels like a warning. I feel like speaking up.
I feel like speaking up.
Tengo ganas de hablar.
I feel like speaking up. I don't feel like calling.
I don't feel like calling.
No tengo ganas de llamar.
I don't feel like calling. It feels like a fresh start.
It feels like a fresh start.
Se siente como un nuevo comienzo.
It feels like a fresh start. I feel like taking a break.
I feel like taking a break.
Tengo ganas de tomar un descanso.
I feel like taking a break. I don't feel like explaining.
I don't feel like explaining.
No tengo ganas de explicar.
I don't feel like explaining. Does it feel smooth?
Does it feel smooth?
¿Se siente suave?
Does it feel smooth? That feels smooth.
That feels smooth.
Eso se siente suave.
That feels smooth. It doesn't feel smooth.
It doesn't feel smooth.
No se siente suave.
It doesn't feel smooth. Does it feel sharp?
Does it feel sharp?
¿Se siente afilado?
Does it feel sharp? This feels sharp.
This feels sharp.
Esto se siente afilado.
This feels sharp. It doesn't feel sharp.
It doesn't feel sharp.
No se siente afilado.
It doesn't feel sharp. Does it feel quiet?
Does it feel quiet?
¿Se siente tranquilo?
Does it feel quiet? It feels quiet.
It feels quiet.
Se siente tranquilo.
It feels quiet. It doesn't feel quiet.
It doesn't feel quiet.
No se siente tranquilo.
It doesn't feel quiet. Does it feel loud?
Does it feel loud?
¿Se siente ruidoso?
Does it feel loud? This feels loud.
This feels loud.
Esto se siente ruidoso.
This feels loud. It doesn't feel loud.
It doesn't feel loud.
No se siente ruidoso.
It doesn't feel loud. Does it feel quick?
Does it feel quick?
¿Se siente rápido?
Does it feel quick? That feels quick.
That feels quick.
Eso se siente rápido.
That feels quick. It doesn't feel quick.
It doesn't feel quick.
No se siente rápido.
It doesn't feel quick. Does it feel slow today?
Does it feel slow today?
¿Se siente lento hoy?
Does it feel slow today? This feels slow today.
This feels slow today.
Esto se siente lento hoy.
This feels slow today. It doesn't feel slow today.
It doesn't feel slow today.
No se siente lento hoy.
It doesn't feel slow today. Does it feel right to you?
Does it feel right to you?
¿Se siente bien para ti?
Does it feel right to you? That feels right to me.
That feels right to me.
Eso se siente bien para mí.
That feels right to me. It doesn't feel right to me.
It doesn't feel right to me.
No se siente bien para mí.
It doesn't feel right to me. Does it feel wrong now?
Does it feel wrong now?
¿Se siente mal ahora?
Does it feel wrong now? This feels wrong now.
This feels wrong now.
Esto se siente mal ahora.
This feels wrong now. It doesn't feel wrong now.
It doesn't feel wrong now.
No se siente mal ahora.
It doesn't feel wrong now. Does it feel the same?
Does it feel the same?
¿Se siente igual?
Does it feel the same? That feels the same.
That feels the same.
Eso se siente igual.
That feels the same. It doesn't feel the same.
It doesn't feel the same.
No se siente igual.
It doesn't feel the same. Does it feel different?
Does it feel different?
¿Se siente diferente?
Does it feel different? This feels different now.
This feels different now.
Esto se siente diferente ahora.
This feels different now. It doesn't feel different.
It doesn't feel different.
No se siente diferente.
It doesn't feel different. Does it feel complete?
Does it feel complete?
¿Se siente completo?
Does it feel complete? That feels complete.
That feels complete.
Eso se siente completo.
That feels complete. It doesn't feel complete.
It doesn't feel complete.
No se siente completo.
It doesn't feel complete.
Gracias por haber estado con nosotros. Siga practicando. Nos vemos en el próximo video.